Yo everyone, this is Derek Williams with 3Link Consulting, and this is the Triple Up. I picked this topic because I think a lot of people right now in the world are facing a lot of shit, let's be honest, and trying to stay motivated during a pandemic is probably pretty tough. And so I want to talk about the things that are killing your motivation. But today's Cinco de Mayo, so before we get started, let's take a shot. For the record, my wife wanted me to tell you guys that I should take a shot with you as part of our first video here, getting started with the Triple Up series. So anyways, happy Cinco de Mayo. Let's talk about some motivation killers. I should have said cheers to your motivation. I don't know, I think it's something clever, but Okay, well, so if you struggle with getting started or progressing towards a goal, you're going to want to watch this video. I'm going to help you keep your motivation alive. I don't care if you're in sales or if you're trying to hit a fitness goal, whatever you're trying to work towards, being aware of what's killing your motivation is going to allow you to be a little bit more vigilant as you progress towards those goals, right? As you guard your motivation. I've been through a lot of shit in my life, and I've had to overcome a lot of different things. I've been able to build a pretty strong career in B2B tech sales as both a sales rep and as a sales leader, and I've progressed that into a consultancy despite not having the education and some of the resources that some of my peers might have. I've had to work really hard. I've had to work really hard on staying motivated, and so as a result, I've become kind of an expert on the topic. So let's get into the first motivation killer. Before we get too far ahead, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. I swear that's it. Just like, comment, share, and subscribe. So our first motivation killer is a lack of knowledge. Not understanding what motivation is will make it really hard to sustain it and guard it. Okay, so motivation first stems from the word motive, which is basically your internal needs, your drive, your reasons for doing things. If you look it up in the dictionary, it's literally going to say your reason for behavior. I've come to the conclusion that I believe motivation is both psychological and biological. And so we'll talk about that next in number 2. Low levels of these 4 brain chemicals will absolutely kill your motivation. The first is dopamine. When your dopamine levels are low, you're going to feel sluggish, slow to react. You may even feel depressed. The second is oxytocin. Oxytocin helps create social bonds and connectedness between people. It really helps you be more comfortable around groups. When your oxytocin levels are low, your communication abilities are probably going to be equally low as well. The third brain chemical that will kill your motivation if its levels are low are your endorphins. And if your endorphins are low, then you're probably going to experience some pretty serious mood swings. And that's going to make it really hard for you to sustain your motivation or really get excited about anything. Serotonin is the 4th chemical that you need to be aware of in your brain. When your serotonin levels are low, you may not really feel important or accomplished. And feeling accomplishment, feeling the reward of an accomplishment is really the third anchor in the motivational process, which we'll talk about later. But in order for you to sort of recycle motivational energy, you need to constantly be feeling a sense of achievement. So if you're not feeling those achievements, naturally your serotonin levels are going to be low, and then as a result, you're probably not going to feel very motivated. The third motivational killer in today's lineup is low self-esteem. And I honestly think that we've all struggled with this time to time. And in that, some of the things that you might experience are feeling unlovable, awkward, incompetent. These are all some of the common buzzwords that float around low self-esteem. And in this video, we're not going to tackle how to address low self-esteem or any of the other killers, quite frankly. We're going to save that for a separate video. Right now, we're just trying to spread awareness or kind of expand our knowledge on the things that are impacting our ability to stay motivated. I also want to throw in this bucket of self-esteem, and I want to know what you think about this, but I want to throw in fear and shame and guilt into this low self-esteem bucket. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think we should be grouping them together, or do you think fear, shame, and guilt, these components, are maybe their own separate motivational killer, or do we group them together? I think fear in itself is a big topic. Shame and guilt also very big topics. So I bundle those under low self-esteem. But comment below. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Does fear, shame, and guilt belong with low self-esteem? The 4th motivational killer is working on something that you truly don't give a shit about. If we're not setting goals that truly mean something to us, then we're not going to be able to sustain motivation for the long haul. The fifth motivational killer is being under challenged, right? This leads to boredom. And if we're not thinking big or trying to go after something that's challenging us quite enough, then we're going to lose interest really quick. I'm being corny now. Fuck, this is hard. Why did I think this was going to be so easy? It's hot as hell in here. Alright. Should I take another shot? Alright. Motivational killer number 6, working on goals that are too big. This leads to burnout. Now, motivational killer number 7 is one of my favorites. It's not having enough autonomy. Sometimes you have to work on things, and it's a rigid process. You have to work within certain guidelines, and for a creative type, that can be pretty frustrating. One thing that I always talk about is Heisman your distraction. It's important to the motivational process that you're able to kind of get into a zone and stay in that zone as long as possible. And when you have internal or external distractions that you can't control or that you have a problem controlling, then yeah, your motivation is going to be killed. Motivation killer number 8, negative ass people. I've always told my kids, you are who you hang with. It takes bulletproof motivation to stay positive and motivated around negative people. In some cases, it's unavoidable. You're going to be around negative people, and you need to be able to build up some level of tolerance to that. But wherever possible, get away from them. Now we come to the last motivational killer, number 10, and it's one of my favorites and one that I've learned a lot about recently. Hesitation is number 10. And I want to give a shout out to Mel Robbins, the author of the 5-second rule. There's a lot of times where you feel compelled to work towards a goal, to get started on something, to restart something, but you stop. There's that split second in your mind when you think about it, but then you're flooded with negative self-talk. You're flooded with all these scenarios in your head that kind of just force you to stay on the couch and push next episode on your Netflix series. All right, in our next video, we're going to talk about 10 things you can do to stay more motivated. We're going to take the items in this list head on in the next video. Now, if you have any topics that you'd like me to address here on the YouTube channel, just comment below or send me a message and I'll be happy to get to it. Remember, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let's get it. And I'd be happy. Jesus. Now, if you have any topics that you want to if you have any topics that you'd like me to address here on the YouTube channel, just comment below or send me a message and I'll be happy to do it. Now, and if you're struggling right now to maybe get started towards Jesus, it's hard.